Well, we're just a couple weeks away from the NFL season. We hope. It's going to be weird with stadiums empty. That's going to be weird. I believe, though, that's the mercy of God for Cowboy fans because they don't have to watch their team be devoured every week. That's good for those Cowboy fans. But it's just been weird this sporting season. Like the NFL draft, I'm not a big draft guy. Some people geek out on the draft. I seriously don't. But it was really weird. It's usually, if you don't know anything about the NFL draft, I know many of you don't, but they have this big pomp and circumstance, a huge event. It's in New York City, and they roll out the red carpet. All the potential draft picks show up, and they parade them across the carpet and up front. It's just a huge, huge deal. Well, this year, though, it was virtual. It was weird. It was just online. And what's funny is every year at the draft, they just get it wrong. Like they have this idea of there are scouts. So if you don't know this about the NFL, like any sports team has scouts. So scouts hired by their team, and they watch college players, and they rate them and on their talent and their ability and whether they can go to the next level. And so every year they completely whiff on it. Like they'll say, this person is going to be great, the next Hall of Famer, and that guy ends up being a complete bust. And then they'll say, this person is going to be a bust, no one should draft them, they're horrible, and that person goes on to be like a Hall of Famer. It happens all the time. I love seeing that all the time, how they're wrong. And for example, there was one NFL player who's just an outstanding player, and this is what they said about this NFL player. Listen to this. These are actual scouting reports about this NFL player before he was drafted. Poor build, skinny, lacks great physical stature and strength. This sounds a lot like my social media profile. Poor build, skinny, lacks great physical endurance and strength. Yeah, that's me. Lacks mobility and the ability to avoid the rush, lacks a really strong arm, can't drive the ball downfield, does not throw a really tight spiral, gets knocked down easily. That player was Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Perhaps, possibly the greatest player to ever play the game, regardless of whether you like him or not. That's the truth. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. This guy is incredible. Sometimes the scouting report is wrong. Sometimes the scouting report is wrong. What is the scouting report that you are developing right now for your dream? What's the scouting report look like? Because that scouting report might be wrong. In fact, we see this here in Numbers 13. We've got these scouts. 12 of them are sent out. And they all see the same thing. They see the possibilities and they see the problems. But 10 of the scouts come back and they say, no, pass. This is not a first-round draft pick. No, we cannot go into the land. But we know now, in hindsight, they were wrong. They missed it. So how could 10 elite men, okay, these are not just picked out at random. These are highly trained military scouts, the elite of the elite. They go into the land and they got it wrong, and only 2 of them got it right.